Guys, welcome to episode 43. Now in this episode, I'm going to talk about Christmastime, being challenged, and confrontations. Well, first and foremost, I hope that everybody out there is having a good day, a good week. If you're watching this on Christmas Day, you are awesome. I don't see many people doing that. Here where I'm at, you can hear the rain. I'm still going to proceed with this broadcast because that's what we do. We're taping, we'll continue filming, and if it slacks up, it's so be it, and if it doesn't, then we'll keep going. With that being said, I said we're going to talk about Christmastime, being challenged, and confrontations. So, let's get right to it. Christmastime, for most people, is a wonderful time of the year. People absolutely, they get together. It's an absolute big thing. Some people want to know, and it's all over the world. It's hard for me as a person, talking about it, not being this, just from what I know. If you were to look in the dictionary, in the English, what do they call that? Language, literature, learner's definition of Christmastime, you will actually see that in there. I had the quote here. I'll try to, in rehearsal, I'll try to remember some of this stuff. It's the time of the year when people get ready and celebrate Christmas. Christmas Day and days and weeks. People celebrate this stuff or this time of the year. All this stuff, all this festivities. And actually the word Christmas comes from the Middle English. I'm probably butchering this. I think it's Christmastime, which it comes from the Old English Christmastime, literally meaning, and you can look this up, the Christ Mass. It's of course we're not talking about the physical mass of his body. It's the origin of Mass in the Christ sense of the word, and there's several times of the year where we can do things that we do on Christmas, but it's not really one of those things that a lot of people do. Like whatever you eat on Christmas, I've had people tell me this. This is why it's hard for me to put this out there. I've had people tell me that, when you give somebody a gift, man, at Christmas time, you can give them gifts through the year. Yes, you can. Those are gifts. Those are what we, that's what we do when it's your birthday. Well, we celebrate birthdays. Most of us, it's Christ's birthday. Now, I'll get right over to Christmas and staying on topic time, but you got to remember, Christmas is celebrated to remember the birth of Jesus Christ, who Christians believe is the Son of God. And that's what I was trying to say earlier, is the word Christmas, the name Christmas, literally comes from the Mass of Christ. You see what I'm saying? It's a massive service, which it's sometimes called communion. It's where Christians remember that Jesus died for us and he came back to life. Now, if this isn't your thing, you don't have to watch this, but just stay tuned. There's some other topics coming up. Christmas is actually December the 25th, but it wasn't always. This is what they're telling us. December the 25th is not the date mentioned in the Bible as the day of Jesus' birth. The Bible is actually silent on the day of that time of the year when Mary was said to given birth to him in Bethlehem. The Virgin Mary is pregnant with the Son of God, and she would give birth to Jesus 9 months later on a winter solstice. You see, from Rome, the Christ Nativity celebration is spread to other Christian churches, right? West, east, soon north, south. Most Christians, period, were celebrating birth on December the 25th of Christ, That's what it, and then, that's just what I wanted to touch there. I told you I'm going to talk about this. I can only talk about so much simply because, what's funny is I'm not trying to put thoughts in people's head. It's my opinions, so I guess I'm trying it sometimes to watch what I'm saying without offending anybody, and I don't think I am. I just mean, okay, look, let's talk about this. Let's mix this in there with some big beard. There was a person, I heard one time, he didn't ask me, I can easily say they asked me, but he says, what zodiac sign would Jesus be? And we're like, whoa. Never thought of that. Now, most people like zodiac sign, we don't care, and I'm going to care. Okay, well, with the story of the birth of Christ coinciding with this date, many Christian symbols for Christ use the astrological symbol for the Pisces, the fishes. Is that what you call it? The fishes? The figure that Christ himself bears many of the temperance and personality traits of Pisces. And it's considered the archetype of Piscean or whatever. Anyway, that is that when it comes to Christmas time, guys. Just little stuff that I'm sharing. It's nothing that I'm trying to change the world about. Well, now let's talk about being challenged. Being challenged what does it mean? When we talk about you're being challenged, you often, it's presented with difficulties. When a person is presented with difficulties, as a disability, physically challenged, what is a challenged person? A challenged person, if you say someone is challenged in a particular way, you mean that they have a disability, you see. And in that area of which you're speaking, challenge is often combined with inappropriate words, which, and humorous effects on people. I mean, this is what, people are mean, folks. But there's different types of challenges. Sometimes it's good to be challenged, Challenges and problems are important parts of life that give you the experiences, you see, and they make you learn. They help you become wiser and stronger. I don't know a lot in this world, and I never will. But I know that problems make us grow and they shape us. The biggest problem that people have is that they hope for a life without problems. You dig? Regardless of the result, we should value the experience and personal growth. Then there's people that love to be challenged. And other people don't know that. That freaks them out, I'm telling you that. But they love to be challenged. There's several words that may be used to, I mean, you can go on and on and on, words that would be used to describe, you know, a person who loves to be challenged. Like you could say fearless, bold. Those come to mind. Industrious. You see? I'm just saying. These, whether you lose your job, an opportunity, or a relationship loss is inevitable. And that's a big part of life. That's a challenge in itself. Regardless of how it happens. Regardless of how it happens. Life is awesome. But the loss in life's biggest challenges. It can feel abrupt, disruptive. But I know sometimes we need to be challenged. Some people challenge you and they don't know you do it. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that they come right at you. They get right in your face and challenge you. Come on, Big Beard, come on. You know, that's not what I mean. What I mean is sometimes you've got to go through certain situations in life, and you have to know not necessarily when to give up, but you have to know when to, I'm not even going to say throw in the towel, but walk away. And people can take that any way they want, but we have to be challenged. You can find yourself within, you can find yourself without. You can find yourself hating the challenge that happened. It's like with me. How do you explain a challenge? How do you explain a challenge to somebody and you really want to be, really it's about be honest but brief. You know? You can chat with somebody for a half hour, brief. Just tell them, boom, boom, boom. But be honest when discussing the challenges, but brief with your answer. Don't spend too much time on the difficulty that you present. Just state it. Briefly explain why you dealt with it, you know? It's hard. And I really am learning certain things. And you need to tell the person what you learned from it. Do not talk about any extreme challenges that like end in disaster and stuff like that. You tell the person. And sometimes when that happens, it can be a beautiful thing. It could make one think. It could make you just get mad. But if you can really talk about the challenges, that's, I think that's important. I really do. It's difficult for me to have this conversation because I'm so passionate about what I believe in and what I do that I really think I get too excited, but I really, really think challenges are important. I didn't know all this stuff until recently. Certain things happen and I'm like, wow, maybe I'm growing, maybe I'm not. But the difficulty in talking about some of this is really that when you say challenges, there's people that are physically challenged. You see, in referring to people with disabilities, it's preferable to use like language like that has to do with their abilities rather than their disability. Therefore, the use of terms like handicapped, able bodies, like physically challenged, it's discouraged. We don't want to do those things. You want to really talk about non-disabled or, be nice. I'm not saying be PC, but be PC at the same time. There's a lot of things where people can get under one's skin, those kind of challenges. I know of a guy that was told that he's here physically, but mentally he's not here. Like he didn't know. And I'm like, wow, that guy, that's kind of deep to say that about someone when the situation was it doesn't matter situation because I don't give names and the likeness of that on the show here, but to understand when the guy was talking and him to say, yeah, this guy was like, he was physically there, man, but like mentally, dude, he wasn't there. And I'm like, you said that about this guy? When you start to define somebody like that without, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's something that goes to heart with some people, and some people don't think about these things, and they think it's just nothing to talk about and chat about. But some people are different. Some people are genuine. So those kind of challenges, I think, are as well important. And I do think that we need them sometimes, because it helps you find you. Now, let's talk about confrontations.
Confrontation. Confrontation.
This is what I want to speak on for a moment. This is actually important. When you hear that word, confrontation, one of the first things you think of is a hostile or an argumentative meeting or situation, between the opposing parties. In other words, you think of something negative. You think of, I'm going to confront this person. I know I do. I pep myself up. I psych myself out for a lot of things. Then in the end, I'm like, Blake, why did you do that? Why? And there's always that answer of, there's no reason. Sometimes we have reasons, and what's funny, those are the ones that are so justifiable we can't even argue about. Some people don't like confrontation. Confronting each other is what I was going to say. But is that really a bad thing? Did it really have to come to that? Most of us think confrontation, like I said, is a bad thing. Someone gets hurt. We tend to treat confrontation as something that should be avoided. But if it's done right and with the right intentions, a confrontation is really an act of respect. And I think that gets thrown around a lot. Some people struggle really, really, really hard. We do. I do. With confrontation. It's funny because I've started to realize that your fear of confrontation is probably due to your upbringing. Something from your past, like abusive relationships, terrible breakups. That makes you gun shy, so to speak, Look that up, guys. Gun shy. But you're afraid that you might not be liked. You're scared the other person will stop liking you a lot less after a confrontation. That's actually why a lot of people are not real comfortable with none of the one-on-one. Like, there are people out there who's like, oh, I don't care. I got this. Like, I'm one of them. Like, I will. That's one of my fear of confrontation I hate. I'm sharing that with you right now. Big beard. I don't like confrontation. I will. And I'm damn good at it. I can get loud. I can get stupid. And when I get really mean, people like me or they hate me or they walk off like he's an idiot. Most of the time, I'm an idiot. There's no reason. But I tell people, I'm a good friend, but I make a bad enemy. You dig? All right. Well, confronting someone, back to the point at hand, is actually respectfully and with purpose allows them to explain their side of the story. The thing about it is a lot of people don't like that. They don't want that fear of feeling like, I don't want to say this because they're going to be like, why didn't you tell me sooner? Why? Well, you're always going to ask those things. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Why didn't you, but a lot of this actually moves the relationship in a positive, more open, communicative, way. Mastering the skill of this confrontation. I'll keep saying that because that's what we're about. It's actually It's important for your growth. Like even as a leader, you know, people don't understand the importance that just because something is confronted doesn't mean there should be hate behind it. Now, a lot of this, it probably is to a lot of people. A lot of hate behind that word confrontation. Could it be good? Yeah. Could it be bad? Absolutely. If people don't like it, like to confront, and I'm one of these people. This is why I'm talking about these things. I totally understand. But you do it. There's a name. Like somebody says, what do you call someone who avoids confrontation? You agreeable or passive is the words that I'm going to use. Agreeable or passive. As in, they will go along with what that person wants, whether they really want to or not, just to avoid that confrontation. Can it be good? Yeah. It allows the honesty and transparency in everything, particular of importance when we experience, confrontation or that conflict. While confronting someone might not always end with that outcome that we want. I mean, who does? What situation will? People will always value your honesty, and they will respect you for coming forward with your concerns about things. Now, the way you go about it, I'm really speaking for myself, but I know people out there are like this. And this is what makes this episode hard, y'all. Because I know people are out there. I'm not the only one. For me, it was a hard thing to do because it's hard for me to do a confrontation with somebody. I've been in those situations, and when I have been in them, it was a hard thing to do because I respected the person. You know what I mean? Really, really bad. And they, and you can use that like, well, if you respected these people, this wouldn't have happened. No, it's that you realize some things happened, and now you want to, fix the problem, but respectfully. And it's too late now to, you can't go back in time, you can't change things. But I'm just saying, that's all of the stuff I really wanted to touch today. I really wanted to make people understand that you are not alone when it comes to, like I said, these Christmas times, being challenged in these confrontations. Now, this is just my, interpretation of situations and life happenings. So, judge me not. Just know this is what the show's about and what words this is going. I really, really hope that if anybody out there is going through anything, write me a message, you and I will talk about it. Write me a message and say, can I have the address of Big Beard? I've got a P.O. box. I will most definitely give it to you. And you can write me snail mail, as I call it. Write me a letter. Now, am I just someone who's going to tell you the right things, maybe not the wrong things? I'm going to do my best not to tell you the wrong things, but I will talk to you. And I'm saying this because some people don't want to talk face to face. They don't want to be on the show, which if you would like to be and you don't want your face on here, I'll just record some audio and we can do it that way. Either way, guys, I hope that if anything is on your mind, your brain, your heart, your soul, I hope that it soon surpasses. And may it just vanish. May it not overcome you. After all, this is the season of love, a season of joy, Christmas time. This is what it's all about. Let's do this. But don't hold nothing back. Don't let someone define you. No amount of money, no amount of. You got to keep your integrity, but you have to do it the right way. And as we always say, before I leave the show. What do I say? Those 3 words? What are those 3 words? Love, peace, chicken grease. Thanks, guys.
Big beard.
Presentations.